time.
Only 8 years. After all, Mother, you've been writing plays for 8 years. We started about the same time, didn't we?
Well, yes, but you can't count my first two because I was learning how to type.
I think the candy's hardening up now, Miss Essie. Oh, thanks, Reba. I'll bring some in, Mother. I want you to try it. Did you finish the second act, Mrs. Sycamore?
Oh, what, Reba?
I said, did you finish the second act?
Oh, no, I just got Cynthia entering the monastery.
She was at the Kit Kat, wasn't she?
Well, yes, she gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, and there's this monastery, so she goes there.
Do they let her in?
Well, yes, I made it Visitor's Day, so of course anybody can go. So she arrives on Visitor's Day and just stays.
You mean she stays all night?
Oh, yes, she stays 6 years.
6 years? My, I bet she wants that monastery wide open.
6 years later.
Mr. DePenna!
Yeah?
Mr. DePenna, can you bring up one of the new skyrockets, please? I want to show them to Miss Sycamore.
Sure.
Hello, Penny. Take a look at these. We can sell them tin strings for $1. Listen. Nice, huh?
Oh, yes, Paul. Oh, dear. Were you ever in a monastery?
No, I wasn't. But wait till you see the new skyrockets. We got gold stars, then blue stars, then bombs, and then a balloon. Mr. DePenna thought of the balloon.
That's lovely. Did you do all of that today?
Yes, we made up a whole bunch of new stuff. Here we are. Costs us 18 cents to make, and we can sell them for 50. How many do you think we can make up before the 4th of July, Mr. DePenna?
Well, we've got 2 weeks yet. What day are you taking this stuff up to Mount Vernon?
In about a week. We're gonna need a lot bigger booth this year. Got a lot of stuff made up.
Mr. Sycamore, I'm worried the balloon's too close to the powder chamber.
But we have all the stars and bombs in between.
But that don't give the balloon enough time. A balloon needs plenty of time.
Okay, well, let's go down to the cellar and try it.
Oh, Mr. DePenna, if a girl you loved entered a monastery, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know, Miss Sycamore. It's been so long.
Miss Alice gonna be home to dinner tonight, Mrs. Sycamore?
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Well, I'll set a place for her, but she's only been home one night this week.
Yes, I know.
Miss Essie is making some mighty good candy today. She's doing something new with coconuts.
Oh, that's nice.
Let's see. 7 if Mr. DePenna, and if Mr. Kolenkoff comes, that makes 9, doesn't it? Yes, I better set for 9.
Reba, I think I'm going to put this play away for a while and go back to the war play.
Oh, I always liked that one, the war play. Boom, boom. They'll be better or they're harder, Mother, but try one. I want to know what you think.
Oh, they look lovely. What do you call them?
I think I'll call them love dreams.
Oh, yes, that's nice. Oh, Essie, dear, I'm going back to the war play.
Oh, are you, Mother?
Yes, I've sort of got myself into a monastery and I can't get out.
Oh, well, it'll come to you, Mother. Remember how you got out of that brothel? The snakes are hungry. Did Reba feed them?
I don't know. Reba, have you fed the snakes yet?
No, Donald's coming and he always brings flies with him.
Oh, well, be sure to feed them before Grandpa gets home. You know how fussy he is about them.
Yes, ma'am.
Tonight, we'll have another love dream.
Mr. DePenna was right about the balloon. It's too close to the powder.
Want a love dream, Father? They're on the table.
No thanks, I gotta watch.
Oh, Paul, dear, I'm going back to the war play.
Oh, that's nice. Gonna put some red stars after the bombs and then before the balloon. That ought to do it.
You know, Mr. Kolenkoff says I'm his most promising pupil.
You'd think with 40 monks and 1 girl that something would happen.
Essie, now, Essie, listen to this a minute.
I like that, Ed. Did you write it?
No, Beethoven.
Lovely. Got a lot of you in it. I made this new candy this afternoon, Ed.
Yeah?
You can take them around tonight.
All right. Now here's the finish. This is me. How's that?
Fine, Ed. Remember when Kolenkoff comes, will you?
Oh, and dear, why don't Sex play, labor play, religious play. I know it's here someplace.
I was right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder chute.
Anything you wanted printed, Mr. DePinna? How about some more calling cards?
No thanks, I've still got the first 1,000.
Well, call on somebody, will you?
All right.
All right, Grandpa, I'm ready to print the menu. What's for dinner?
Let's see. Cornflakes, watermelon, some of these candies Miss Essie made, and some kind of meat. I forget.
I'll put it up in bold-faced Cheltenham tonight. You know, I'm gonna take those candies around. I better print up some descriptive matter after dinner.
And do you think anybody reads those things that you put in the candy boxes? Oh, here's the war play. Poison gas. Oh, and that must be Donald. Look at Reba's smile.
Boyfriend, eh, Reba?
Oh, they're awful cute, Donald and Reba.
Hello, Reba.
Donald,
Evening, everybody.
Hi, Donald. How have you been?
Pretty good, Mr. Ed. How have you been, Miss Sycamore?
Fine, Donald. Oh, Donald,
Yes, ma'am.
were you ever in a monastery?
No, ma'am, I don't go to the place much. I'm on relief.
Oh, I see.
Bring the flies, Reba. Found the nest of them today.
you sure did.
I see you've been working, Miss Sycamore.
Yes, indeed, Donald.
How's Grandpa?
He's fine. Over at Columbia. Commencement exercises.
I see you certainly do roll around.
What's he go there for all the time, Penny?
Oh, I don't know. So handy. Just around the corner.
Oh, Donald. Wow. Mr. DePinna and I are going to take the fireworks up to Mount Vernon next week. Do you think you can give us a hand?
Yes, sir. Only thing is I can't take money for it this year because if the government finds out I've been working, they'll get sore.
Oh. Ed, I got a wonderful idea in the bathroom just now. That was Trotsky. It's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I left it there.
Who is it?
Trotsky. You know, the Russian Revolution.
Oh,
Anyhow, it struck me as a great fireworks idea. You remember the last days of Pompeii?
oh yes, Palisades Park. That's where we met.
Yes. Well, I'm going to do the revolution. A full hour display.
Say,
Oh, that's wonderful.
The red fire is the flag.
Sure, and the Tsar and the Cossacks.
and freeing of the slaves.
No, Donald, the Russian Revolution. Hello, Grandpa.
Oh, well, sir, you should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
Was it a nice commencement, Grandpa?
Oh, wonderful. They get better every year. Oh, you don't know how lucky you are you're snakes.
Big commencement this year, Grandpa. How many were there?
Oh, there must have been about 2 acres. Everybody graduated. Yes, sir. Much funnier speeches than they had last year.
You want to hear a good speech? You should go to your Father Divine.
Oh, well, wait. They'll have them in Columbia.
Oh, Donald, could you go tell Reba that Grandpa's home and we won't wait for Miss Alice?
Yes, ma'am.
Reba, Grandpa's home. We can have dinner. We made a fine new rocket today, Grandpa. Wait till you see.
Evening, Grandpa.
Oh, evening, Mr. DePinna.
Didn't we make a fine rocket today, Mr. DePinna?
We certainly did.
I wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencement.
Don't make enough noise. You take a good commencement orator, and I'll drown out a whole carload of fireworks. Say just as much, too.
Don't the graduates ever say anything?
No, they just sit there in cap and nightgown, get their diploma. Then along about 40 years from now, they suddenly say, where am I?
Hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Don't I even get a kiss?
Excuse me, Grandpa.
I'll take a tomato, too. Could have used a couple of these this afternoon.
Father?
No thanks.
Mother?
No thanks, dear.
Play something, Ed.
There was a letter came for you, Grandpa. Did you get it?
Letter from me. I don't know anybody.
It was for you, though. Had your name on it.
That's funny. Where is it?
I don't know. Where's Grandpa's letter, Mother?
For what, Essie?
Where's the letter that came from Grandpa last week?
Oh, I don't know. I think I remember seeing it by the snakes.
Oh, well, who was it from? Did you notice?
Yes, it was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
The United States government.
Really? Wonder what they want.
There was one before that, too. From the same people. There was a couple of them.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd give them to me.
Yes, Grandpa.
Think I'll go out to Westchester tomorrow. Do thought you said it.
It's good for print, you know. Good short. G-O-D space I-S space E-A-G space.
And so the beautiful princess came into her palace and kissed her mother and her father.
Hello, Alice.
Hi, Daddy. And her grandfather.
Hello, darling.
And what do you think? They turned to the Sycamore family. Surprised?
Oh, Alice, I like it.
Do you?
It's new, isn't it? Nice and summery.
Where'd you get it? Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
You've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second new dress this week.
I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the K. Francis of Kirby and Company. Well, it's around here, in the way of plays or snakes or ballet dancing or fireworks. Donna bet you've been down in that cellar all day.
Huh?
I'm going back to the board play, Alice.
Really, Mother?
Hey, play Alice that Beethoven thing you wrote.
Did you know that you can mail a letter all the way from Nicaragua for just 2 pesetos?
Really?
Kenneth, my virginity is a priceless thing to me.
Listen, people, listen. I'm not home to dinner. A young gentleman is calling for me.
Really? Who is it? Well, isn't that nice?
I've tried everything to keep him from coming here, but he's calling for me.
Well, why don't you two stay to dinner?
No, I want him to take you in easy doses. I'm trying to prepare him a little, but don't make it any worse than you can help. So don't read him any plays, Mother. And don't let a snake bite him, Grandpa, because I like him. And I want to dance for Messi, because we're going to the Monterella Ballet tonight.
I can't do anything. Who is it? President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby and Company. Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
The boss's son?
The
Well.
boss's son, just like the movie.
That explains the new dresses.
And not being home for dinner for 3 weeks.
Why Sherlock Holmes?
Are you going to marry him, Alice?
Oh, yes, of course. Tonight, you know I have to go upstairs and put on my wedding dress.
Is he good looking?
Yes. In a word. What time is it?
Well, I don't know. Does anybody know what time it is?
Mr. DePena might know.
It was 5 o'clock a couple hours ago.
I have to know better than to ask you people. Will you let me know the minute he comes, please?
Of course, dear.
Well, yes, I know, but I mean the minute he comes.
Of course, Alice.
Well, be sure.
What do you think of that?
Oh, well, she certainly seems to like him.
I should say so. She's got it bad. Oh, if they get married, we can have the wedding right here in this room.
Oh, come now, Penny. This is the first time he's ever called for the girl.
Who only called for me once?
Well, young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. Look at Ed and me. He came to dinner once and just stayed. Well, anyway, I think it's a wonderful thought. Don't you, Grandpa?
Well, she certainly seems happy.
Well, I bet you he's crazy about her. I'll bet he's the one who's been taking her out to dinner every night. That was him. Never mind, Reba. I'll answer it. Remember what Alice said, and everyone be very nice to him.
All right, let's take a look at him.
Good evening.
How do you do?
Well, welcome to our little home. I'm Alice's mother, and this is Alice's father.
How do you do?
And Alice's grandfather.
Hello.
Her sister Essie, and Essie's husband Ed Carmichael. Well, there. Now you know all of us. Give me your hat and make yourself at home.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
How's that?
My card.
Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
Well, what can we do for you?
Doesn't Mr. Mark Vanderhoff live here?
Yes, sir, that's me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax?
Mind if I sit down?
No, go right ahead.
Thank you.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby? Oh, no, dear. It's an internal something or another. Pardon me.
Mr. Sycamore.
Oh, what's the matter?
You see, this thing's on mine. Now, if you take a look.
Not right now. Grandpa's busy.
Oh. Pardon me.
Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, we've written you several letters about this, but have not had any reply.
Oh, so that's what those letters were about.
I told you they were from the government.
Yes, well, it seems, Mr. Vanderhoff, that you have never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Why not?
Don't believe it.
You own property, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you receive yearly income from it?
That I do.
Between $3,000 and $4,000?
Oh, it's about that.
And you've been receiving it for years.
I have. Let me see here. 1901 is the exact date.
Well, the government's only concerned from 1914 on, and that's when the income tax started.
Well,
Well, it seems, Mr. Vanderhoff, that you owe the government 24 years back income tax.
Now wait a minute, you can't go back that far, it's outlawed.
What's your name?
What difference does it make?
You want to file for an income tax return?
No, sir.
What was your income last year?
$25.15, wasn't it, Essie?
Yes, sir.
If you please. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, you know there's quite a penalty for not filing for an income tax return.
Penalty?
now look. Mr. Henderson, let me ask you something. Well, suppose I pay this money. Mind you, I'm not saying I'm going to. But, just for the sake of argument, what's the government going to do?
How do you mean?
Well, what do I get for my money? I mean, if I go into Macy's and buy something, there it is. I see it. But what's the government give me?
Why, the government gives you everything. It protects you.
Well, what from?
Well, invasion. Foreigners might come over here and take everything you've got.
Oh, I don't think they're going to do that.
Well, if you didn't pay, they would. How do you think the government keeps the Army and the Navy and all those battleships?
The last time we used battleships was a Spanish-American war. And what did we get out of that? Cuba. And we gave that right back. Now, I wouldn't mind paying if it were something sensible.
Sensible? What about Congress and the Supreme Court and the President? We've got to pay them, don't we?
Not with my money. No, sir.
Now, wait just a minute, Mr. Vanderhoff. I'm not here to argue with you. All I know is that you haven't paid an income tax, and you've got to pay it.
Well, they've got to show me.
We haven't come to show you. I just told you. All those buildings down in Washington, and the interstate commerce, and the Constitution.
Oh, the Constitution was paid for long ago. And interstate commerce? What is interstate commerce anyhow?
Well, you see, there are 48 states, and if there weren't interstate commerce, nothing could go from one state to another, see?
Well, why not? They got fences?
No, they haven't got fences, Mr. Vanderhoff. They've got laws. My God, I've never come across anything like this before.
Well, now I might pay about $75, but that's all it's worth.
You'll pay every cent, just like everybody else. Let me tell you something else, Mr. Vanderhoff. You will go to jail if you do not pay. Do you hear that? That's the law. And if you think you're bigger than the law, you've got nothing coming. See, you're no better than anybody else. And the sooner you get that through your head, the better. You'll be hearing from the United States government. That's all I can say. Jesus.
How's that?
Fine, Ed.
How did that sound to you folks?
Oh, I liked it.
Goodness, he was mad, wasn't he?
Oh, it's not his fault. Was the whole thing so silly?
He forgot his hat.
Oh, really? Say, what size is the hat?
7 and an 8.
Well, that's just right for me.
Who was that fellow anyway?
This must be Mr. Kirby.
Better make sure this time.
Yes, I will. I hope he's good looking. How do you do?
Good evening.
Are you Mr. Anthony Kirby, Jr.?
Yes.
Well, come in, Mr. Kirby. We've been expecting you. So I'm Alice's mother, and this is Alice's father, and her grandfather,
Hello.
and Alice's sister, Essie, and Essie's husband, Ed Carmichael. Well, there. Now you know all of us. Do have a seat, Mr. Kirby.
Thank you.
Is that Mr. Kirby, mother? Oh, yes, dear. He's lovely. I'll be right down. Do have a seat.
Thank
hope I'm not keeping you all from dinner.
No, I'm not at all. Here, have a tomato.
No, thank you.
Well, how about a piece of candy?
No, thank you.
Oh, and I forgot to introduce Mr. DePenna, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
How do you do? Wasn't I just reading about your father? Wasn't he indicted or something?
Hardly that. He just testified before the Securities Commission.
Oh,
Yes, I'm sure there's nothing crooked about it, Mr. DePenna. Matter of fact, Alice often told us what a wonderful man your father is.
Well, we wouldn't be anywhere without Alice. She knows more about the business than any of us.
You're awfully young, Mr. Kirby, aren't you, to be vice president of a big place like that?
Well, you know what that means, Vice President? All I have is a desk with my name on it.
Was that all? Don't you get your salary?
Well, a little. More than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
You're just being modest.
Sounds kind of dull to me. And Wall Street.
Do you like it? Well, the hours are short. I haven't been there very long.
Just out of college, huh?
Well, I knocked around at first, just sort of had fun.
Oh, what'd you do? Travel?
For a while. But then I went to Cambridge for a year.
Oh, England.
That's right.
Say, what's an English commencement like? Did you see any?
Oh, very impressive.
They are, huh?
Well, anyhow, the fun is over, and I'm facing the world.
Well, you've certainly got a good start, Mr. Kirby. Vice president, rich father.
Well, that's not my fault at all.
Well, now I'm sure you're ready to settle down and get married.
come now, Penny. I'm sure Mr. Kirby here knows his own mind.
I wasn't making up his mind for him, was I, Mr. Kirby?
Not at all, Mrs. Sycamore.
You see,
You must have rushed your mother.
I'm not rushing in. I'm just saying he's bound to get married. And suppose the wrong girl gets him.
Well, here I am, the vision in blue. Apparently you've had time to get acquainted.
Oh, yes. You're just having a lovely conversation about love and marriage.
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry I came down as fast as I could.
I didn't mind in the least.
Hang those flies in the kitchen. Oh, Miss Alice, you look beautiful. Where are you going? I'm going out, Reba. Stepping, huh?
That must be Cole.
I think we better go, Tony.
All right.
Grandpa, do you take cream on your cornflakes? I forget.
Half and half, Donald.
Rishka. I'm Mr. Rishka. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Grandpa, I have gotten a letter from Rob. The second 5-year plan, it is a failure.
I practiced today, Mr. Kolikoff.
I follow.
If you'll excuse us, Mr. Kolikoff.
I, little Alice. Never have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you, Mr. Kolikoff. Tony, this is Mr. Kolikoff as his dancing teacher. Mr. Kirby,
How do you do?
How do you
if you'll pardon us, we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
Monte Carlo ballet? It stinks.
Yes, well, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm so glad to have met you all.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Monte Carlo ballet.
Wasn't Mr. Kirby lovely? Come on, everyone, let's have dinner.
I thought he was not the wonderful fellow, didn't you?
But so good looking.
Oh, it's such nice manners. Did you notice, Paul? Did you notice his manners?
Certainly did. You were getting very personal with him.
Oh, no, Paul. Anyway, he was lovely.
He looks like a cousin of mine.
Let's get started. Then you have the ballet.
It really is terrible.
Well, not the snakes,
Oh,
though.
no, I don't want to get married in the church. His family and everything.
I guess
I like a church wedding. Quiet, everybody. Quiet. Quiet. Well, sir, things seem to be going along just fine. Certainly much obliged. Remember, all that we ask is just be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we'd like to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. So the second 5-year plan's a failure, eh, Kolikoff?
Mr. Rocker can
That's
do that.
Alice married
Don't mind
Kirby.
him.
What do we have for dinner? I'm hungry.
right away?
Not if you don't want to.
I don't.
Would you like a cold drink?
That sounds wonderful.
I'll go see it's in the icebox. Do you want to come along?
I follow you to the ends of the earth.
Oh, just the kitchen is enough.
Why, London, you've done very simply.
Yes, you didn't know whether to do Empire or Neo-Grecian.
So you tell us the Frigid Air?
Yes, so easy to live with.
Lucky you're not hungry, Mr. K. An icebox full of cornflakes. That gives you a rough idea of Sycamore's.
Why they made these bottle openers for singer midgets? I never all over my coat.
I'll take mine in a glass if you don't mind.
Well, there you are. A foaming beaker.
Anyhow, it's cold.
Now, if you'd be seated, Miss Sycamore, I'd like to offer a toast.
Well, I am seated.
Well, Miss Sycamore, to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, to you.
Want to know something?
What?
I would trade a moment of this evening for all the rice in China.
Really?
Cross my heart.
Is there much rice in China?
Terrific. You didn't read the good earth. Well, I guess I ought to be going.
Oh, is it very late?
Very. I don't want to go.
Well, I don't want you to.
Then I won't. Say, when do you get your vacation?
Last 2 weeks in August.
What do you think we're going to be doing?
Well, I don't know. I haven't thought about it much.
Traveling, do you think?
I might not. I like the city in the summertime.
Well, I do too.
But you always go up to Maine, don't you?
That's right. Sure, I'd love the city in the summertime. You know what I mean, Alice? I'd love it if you were there.
Well, I'd love it if you were here, Tony.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
That you'd rather spend an entire summer with me than anybody else.
Was I?
Well, if it's true about the summer, how do you feel about the winter?
Yes, I'd like that too.
And then there's spring and autumn, if you can see where you clear those, Miss Sycamore.
I might.
Well, I guess that's the whole year. We didn't forget anything, did we?
No.
Well then.
Alice! Alice, dear, is that you? What time is it?
Oh, well, Mr. Kirby, I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
Not at all, Mrs. Sycamore.
No, Mother.
I just came down from a manuscript, and you can go right back to, well, here it is. Sex takes a holiday. Good night, Tony.
Goodbye, Mrs. Sycamore.
Well, I think we can call me Penny. Don't you, Alice? At least I hope so.